Now, which Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 phone is the value king? In this video we'll focus on the Oneplus 11 and the Moto Edge 40 Pro. First off, let's take a look at what you get in the boxes. Both are 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigs of RAM. There's the SIM card ejection tool, and there are some leaflets. And with the Moto there is a little surprise, because there is also an in-the-box cover alongside the SIM card ejection tool. Then there are the phones themselves. Let's just put them aside to see what you get in the boxes. You of course get these insane chargers. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a 125 watt charger and a 100 watt charger. What is fun about these two guys is that they charge in exactly the same time, around 24 minutes from completely dead until full. And that's even though the Oneplus has got a 5000 mAh battery and this has only got a 4600 mAh battery. But to get the Moto charging that fast, the Moto needs to be turned on before connecting to the charger, as well as you have to set it up to fast charge in the settings. IP certification is 64 on the Oneplus and 68 on the Moto. Design. Even if they are roughly the same size, which they are, the point for looks easily goes to the Oneplus 11 in my opinion, but that's subjective of course. The feel in the hand of the phones is about even. I'd normally prefer the slight texture on the Moto, but still the glass back on the Oneplus 11 is also easily grippable. But around the edges, the Motorola Edge is just a tad bit better to hold, but both phones really should be used with a cover. Another comment to the design is the buttons. Just look at these. If you can see, you got one button here, and then you got the alert slider, that's called on the Oneplus. And then here you got like one button, and one button. And they're almost the same size, and that's a problem, because when you reach for it, you always think to yourself, what was now what button? Because they're the same size and they're placed on the same side. On the Oneplus you have power button here, and you have a larger button. That's a volume up and down button on the other side. And that's of course just way more logical for the hands when you reach for it in the dark. With the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on board, both of the phones' speed and gaming are about the same. But the Moto can get very hot, especially around the camera area, and drains the battery relatively fast. But not in everything you do, because watching YouTube it is almost impossible to kill the battery on this guy. I don't know why. Both phones' display sizes are about 6.7 inches and both are AMOLED. Both come with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. Rest assured, both are fast in daily use, so there's gonna be no problems, hombre. Fingerprint unlock is much better on the Moto. It just always works there, whereas on the Oneplus it's a bit of a hassle sometimes, as you can see here. And I've put in five different fingerprints on this one to make it work. But as you can see, what actually opened it was the face recognition, and the face recognition on both of these phones are absolutely excellent. So it sees my face and we're on right away, and it's gonna be the same for the Moto. Look at that. So put face unlock on both of these guys and you're good to go. Now let's talk about the software Oxygen OS versus almost pure Android. I prefer Motorola's take on things in daily use because you have these gestures. Double slash to activate the torch, and then you have this movement to activate the camera. 3 fingers down to take a screenshot. It's just so fun. And then most importantly, what I like about the Moto is this attentive screen. So if I'm anywhere near it or I bump the board where it's lying or anything, it lights up the screen. And of course now it won't do it under no circumstances, but that's just a thing that when you become familiar with Motorola, you just love it, and it just gives you like a screen at a glance kind of view. But the OnePlus has also got its own OnePlus specific apps, such as the community and the sound recorder that is actually just sweet. You can swipe in from the very top, screen capture, screen recorder, and screen translation. The edges of the Edge sometimes lock up for other touches on the screen that you mean to do, and that's a big letdown, especially because the original Edges had that problem completely worked out after some software updates. But fun fact, it's the same on the OnePlus 11. Palm rejection isn't perfected on any of these two guys. 16 gigs of RAM it has. The fun thing is if you go into this RAM extension, you can boost it to 12 gigs. So it's got 16 gigs of RAM plus 12, that's 28 gigs of RAM. Promised software updates. Both phones receive bi-monthly software updates, and that means you get a new software update every other month. It's 4 years of Android update on the OnePluses and 5 years of security, whereas this is 3 years of Android updates and 4 years of security updates. Mind you, that information is that the Android update to a Motorola phone, typically, at least when looking to the past, comes first after 5 to 10 months of the Android version release. And this one is already testing Android 14 actually. Speaker and mic quality. But you can tweak it to your own liking, the sound. Oh yeah. And this is the selfie video camera. And both of them illuminates the screen so you get light onto my face. And just another test because I just noticed a lot of wind going into the mics. So this is OnePlus again. It is a windy night. And this is the Moto again, just hitting some wind over there. Just right in front of me actually, about that one, this one. And just finally again, the OnePlus 11. I just want to check out that wind. Yeah, that's windy now. Isn't it significantly louder on the Moto? And of course I know you want to know about the cameras. I'll tell you all about them in a separate video that you can click right up here or find down in the description. Conclusion. Now, which of these two guys is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 value king? Well, if you look past the chip itself, then what I think matters is software updates, and I mean attention to software updates. And in that regard, the Motorola has a horrible track record. And I know that as a daily Motorola user. I'd had much more faith in OnePlus making actual updates to the software as seen here, rather than Motorola giving a The feeling I get as a Motorola user is that of a battered old dog, whereas a OnePlus 11 user at least looks good. I also think the OnePlus 11 is a better phone than the Google Pixel 7 Pro because it's let down by the Tensor 2 chip and its poor selfie camera. But if you can afford it, go for a Samsung S23 Plus because that's the best phone of the lot. Also with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip inside of it. My name is Brian from Denmark, your tech friend, and please do watch that camera comparison. See ya!